Hello students, in this presentation I will discuss about the Mendel's laws. Gregor Johann Mendel is appropriately called the father of genetics. With the help of his experiment on Pisum sativum, that is garden pea, he was able to formulate laws which explain the manner of inheritance of characters, that is the transfer of characters from parents to offspring. The result of his work were published in Germany in 1866 in paper entitled Experiments in Plant Hybridization. Mendel's contemporaries did not understand his finding, probably partly because he used mathematical principles of probability for explanation he gave in his results. This was something new and unacceptable to the biologists of that time. They believed that biological phenomena were too complex to be reduced to a mathematical treatment. The second reason was the Mendel studied the inheritance of contrasting pair of characters exhibiting discontinuous variation. Many of his contemporaries, that is Charles Darwin, Galton, were preoccupied with characters exhibiting continuous variation. They regarded this continuous variation as being unimportant in evolution. Mendel also failed to demonstrate the validity of his conclusions in other species. He was unlucky in selecting Heratium, that is hawkweed, which showed apomixis. As we know, in apomixis, embryos arise directly from diploid tissue in the ovary without fertilization. And he also did his experiment on honeybees, which had the haploid males as the experimental material. His work was not appreciated by the rest of the scientific community until 1900, when three botanists, Karl Correns of Germany working on Inothera, Hugo de Vries from Netherlands working on Zinnia, and Erich von Tesmark of Austria working on various flowering plants rediscovered Mendel's work after each had apparently independently reached the similar conclusions. Mendel's original paper was republished in Flora in 1901. Mendel chose the Pisum sativum or garden pea as his experimental organism because it is an annual plant with well-defined characteristics and it can be grown and crossed easily. Its short life cycle makes it possible to study several generations within a short period. Moreover, garden peas have perfect or bisexual flowers, that is, flowers that contain both male and female organs. And these flowers are ordinarily self fertilized, that is, the female gamete of is fertilized by the male gamete from the same plant. Because of self fertilization, plants are homozygous. It is therefore easy to get pure lines for several generations. The pollen from another plant can be experimentally introduced to the stigma of flower. So this is the cross pollination that we can easily do in the Pisum plant. The cross pollination is very rare without human intervention. And Mendel was also fortunate in choosing a diploid plant because diploid organisms contain only two sets of chromosomes. If he had chosen a polyploidy organism, an organism with more than two sets of chromosomes, he could not have obtained simple understandable results. In 7 pairs of contrasting characters or traits, Mendel chose to study two parents forms exhibited well-defined, contrasting, alternative or visible morphologies on the plant. The 7 characters that Mendel used were the stem size of the stem. Either the plant was tall or dwarf. The second character was flowers. The flowers may be either arise axillary or terminally. Then the next character is unripe pods, which may be either green or yellow. Then ripe pods were either inflated or constricted. Then seeds were either round or wrinkle shape. Seed coat was either white or gray in color. The cotyledons were either green or yellow in color. So Mendel used this 7 contrasting character for his experiment. Much of the Mendel's success in his first experiment may be attributed to his good judgment in making crosses as far as possible between parents that differ only in one trait or character. For each of the 7 pairs of character, plants with one alternative trait was treated as female and those with the other alternative as male. Reciprocal crosses were also made, that is, each of these crosses were made in 2 ways. In first, for example, the female was used as a tall parent and the male was used as a dwarf parent, whereas in another cross the female was used as a dwarf and the male was used as a tall parent. The parent generation is called the P. The progeny obtained as a result of crossing the parents is called as the first filial or F1 generation. The progeny obtained by self-fertilization of F1 parent is called as the second filial or F2 generation. Similarly, F3, F4, F5 generation were also can be obtained. To prevent self-fertilization, the anthers were removed from the female plant. This is known as emasculation. He collected pollen from male parent and dusted on the feathery stigma of the emasculated female flowers. This is called as crossing or hybridization. These cross-pollinated flowers were enclosed in separate bags to avoid the further deposition of pollen from the other sources or to bring about the self-pollination. A cross between two parents differing in a single pair of contrasting character is known as monohybrid cross. That is, a cross between the parents. Suppose a tall parent is crossed with a dwarf parent. So we have taken only one character which shows the contrasting character, that is tall and the dwarfness. So a cross between these parents differing in a single pair of contrasting character is called as monohybrid cross. Whereas a cross between two parents differing in two pairs of contrasting character, that is, if we make a cross between a plant having tall and violet color flower with a plant which is dwarf and with white flower, so we have taken two pair of contrasting character. So if we make a cross between such parents, then such cross is called as dihybrid cross. So before we enter into the experiment of the Mendel, we will first learn few terminology. First is the trait or character. Trait is the morphological or physiologically visible character, like the color of flower, the shape of seed, the height of a plant. So these are the trait or the characters of a particular plant. Then the next term is the phenotype. The phenotype word comes from the Greek, which means form that is shown. So a class of individuals recognized based on outward appearance of a trait or character in an individual is the phenotype. For example, the smooth seeded shape or the wrinkle shape of seeds represent two different phenotypes. The next term is the genotype, a class of individuals recognized based on its genetic constitution and breeding behavior is called the genotype. Example, the genotype of pure smooth seeded parent pea plant is Tollius and Tollius, and it will also breed true for the smooth seeded character, but the plant having capital S and small s on selfing would give rise to a population represented by 3:1 ratio for smooth seeded plant and wrinkle seeded plants. Next is the factor, the unit of inheritance and expression of a particular character is controlled by the inheritable units which Mendel called as the factor. These are present in pairs in parental cells and they are present singly in the gametes. The next term is the gene, a segment of DNA molecule which determines the unit of inheritance and expression of a particular character is called as a gene. Then alleles or allelomorph, two or more alternative forms of a gene are called the alleles. For example, in pea plant, the gene for producing seed shape may be in two alternative forms. Though the smooth is represented by the capital S and the wrinkle is represented as small s. So gene for smooth wrinkle seeds are alleles of each other and occupy same locus on the homologous chromosome. An individual possessing identical alleles for a trait is termed the homozygous. Example, capital S is homozygous condition for smooth seeded character in garden pea, whereas small s is a homozygous condition for the wrinkle seeded character in the garden pea. Next, heterozygous, an individual with dissimilar alleles for a trait is termed the heterozygous. For example, capital S and small s represent the heterozygous condition for the smooth seeded character in garden pea. Out of two alleles or allelomorph of a trait, the one which is expresses itself in heterozygous organism in F1 hybrid is called as the dominant trait or dominant allele. Thus, if allelic combination in an organism is capital T and small t, and where the capital T is for tallness, which expresses itself, but the small t, which is for dwarfness, cannot be expressed. So the capital T, that is tallness, is dominant allele and tallness is dominant on the dwarfness, which is represented by the small t. Then the recessive trait, out of two alleles for a trait, the one which is suppressed that does not express itself in F1 hybrid is called as the recessive trait. So recessive trait thus expresses itself only in the homozygous state. The parents used for the first cross represent the parent or the P generation. The progeny produced from a cross between two parents is called the first filial or F1 generation. The progeny resulting from self-pollination or inbreeding in F1 individuals is called second filial or F2 generation. The cross between two parents differing in a single pair of contrasting character is called the monohybrid cross, and the F1 offspring is called the monohybrid. The cross in which two parents differ in two pairs of contrasting character are considered simultaneously for inheritance process is called the dihybrid cross. The crossing of F1 progeny with either of the parent is called as the back cross, and the crossing of the F1 progeny with the homozygous recessive parent is called as the test cross. Reciprocal cross is the cross in which the sex of the parent is reversed. That is, if in the first cross male was the dwarf and female tall, then in reciprocal cross the dwarf parent will be female and the tall parent will be male. Now, in one experiment, Mendel crossed a tall plant with a dwarf plant of garden pea. All the offsprings in the F1 generation were tall. The dwarf character had disappeared in the F1 progeny. When the F1 plants were self-fertilized and progeny or second filial generation were classified, 3/4 of the plants were tall and 1/4 were dwarf. So to be exact, an F1 and F2 of 1064 plants consisted of 787 tall plants and 277 dwarf plants, a nearly perfect 3:1 ratio. This ratio is known as the monohybrid phenotypic ratio. On basis of his hypothesis, he predicted that about 1/3 of F2 tall plants would produce only F3 progeny, whereas 2/3 would produce both tall and dwarf progeny. The F2 short plants were expected to produce all short progeny. So, when Mendel self-fertilized the F2 plants and predicted results were obtained. Indeed, the tall F2 plants were of two types. About 1/3 of the tall plants produce only tall progeny, and about 2/3 of them produce both tall and short progeny. In contrast, all the short F2 plants produce only short progeny. It means F2 generation consisted of three types of plant. That is, first is the tall homozygous, that is capital T, they were of 25%. Tall heterozygous, that is capital T small t, they were of 50%. And dwarf homozygous, that is small t, about 25%. From his observation, Mendel concluded that the F2 ratio is more accurately considered as 1:2 2 is to 1. This ratio is known as monohybrid genotypic ratio. An important feature of Mendel's result was that the F1 progeny plants all exhibited the trait expressed in one of the parent plants. The trait expressed in the other plant did not appear among the F1 progeny. The factors or particles specifying one of the traits has an overriding or dominant controlling effect over the factors specifying the other trait. This trait that is expressed in F1 is termed as dominant trait or dominant character. The other trait that disappeared or was masked in F1 but reappeared in 1/4 of the F2 progeny is termed as the recessive trait or the recessive character. Similarly, the factor that specifies the trait expressed in F1 generation is called as the dominant factor, and factor that controls the trait that is masked in the F1 generation is termed as a recessive factor. In other words, a trait or character which appear only in homozygous individual is called a recessive character. So in our case, the dwarfness was a recessive character. A character which phenotypically expresses itself in the homozygous as well as in heterozygous individual is called as the dominant character. So tallness is a dominant character in the Gordon P. Mendel concluded that particles or factors were transmitted intact through the gametes from parents to progeny. He suggested that these factors existed in several alternative forms which are now called the alleles. They determine the different phenotypes that were observed. During sexual reproduction, the member of each pair of alleles separated into different reproductive cells or gametes and gives rise to progeny. Mendel called this separating or segregation process as splitting of hybrids. Thus, paired factors or gene or allelic pairs separate from one another and are distributed to different sex cells of gametes. This is called as law of segregation. According to this law, in a heterozygote, a dominant and a recessive allele remain together throughout the life. That is from zygote to the gametogenesis stage. Without contaminating or mixing with each other, they finally separate or segregate from each other during gametogenesis, so that each gamete receives only one allele. As the gametes are pure for a given character, this law is also known as the law of purity of gametes. So this is the first law of Mendel, which is called as the principle of segregation. In my next presentation, I will discuss about the second law of the Mendel.